Well, access to startups at their early stage can be incredibly difficult for investors. Private capital is in the game and not every company chooses crowdfunding. But now Aussie Angels has launched to help make that process more equitable. And to tell us more about that, Cheryl Mack joins us once again in the studio. Cheryl, welcome back to Startup Daily. Aussie Angels has just hit town. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, thank you for having me. So Aussie Angels provides a way for angel investors to find and follow and invest alongside lead investors who are funding the next generation of Australian startups.
So how does this model work? Because there's a little bit of sort of syndicate involved, there's a whole bunch of different things. Of course it is for sophisticated wholesale investors. You can't be a retail investor in this space, but how do people get involved?
Yeah, so it's actually pretty simple. There's a ton of value in joining a syndicate, not least of which is being able to access deals that you wouldn't have been able to get into otherwise. So if you are an angel investor or even looking to be an angel investor, you simply can go to our website at aussieangels.com and go join syndicates. We have 10 that are currently live, and that's a place where you can essentially join a syndicate. And joining, there's no cost involved. All it is that says that you want to get access to that syndicate's deal flow. And when they do have a deal that they're investing in personally, then they'll be able to share it with you.
So we talk about some of the smartest guys and gals in the room in terms of what's going on here, because it's tricky, you know, and there are lots of deals around. It's been a pretty hot year. We've seen lots of VC money flow in. So you've got into this space too. What's the problem you're solving in terms of angel investing?
Yeah, so the problem really is that if you're a new angel investor or if you're doing this part-time, having the time and effort to be able to seek out and find and meet with founders and get your own deal flow it's incredibly time consuming, and a lot of investors simply don't have the time to be doing that. The other issue is that they may not want to invest or put at risk a huge amount of capital. So getting into angel investing requires a lot of time, and it also requires a lot of money. What we're seeking to do is make that more accessible so that less time is required to find great deal flow, and you can get into deals and diversify your portfolio.
So am I right in thinking that normally, for example, it would be about 25 grand, 25K would be the minimum investment if you're going to be an angel investor. Are you able to put less in this way, or how does it work?
Yeah, so normally startups would require you to put at least $25,000 in on the really pre-seed stage, and it could be $100,000 or more on the later stages. Through Aussie Angels, we allow syndicate leads to set that minimum check size per company at as low as $1,000.
Wow, that's pretty easy access. So on that front, what sectors are you looking at? Are there specific ones and specific expertise that people have got in terms of the syndicates you're putting together?
Yeah, a couple of them are agnostic, including my own, but others are more specific. So we do have one that is focused on hardware. So the Inventor Syndicate is funding hardware businesses, and another one that is Tech for Climate, which is focused on climate businesses.
You previously worked at Stone and Chalk, where you're really on the front line in terms of working with startups at that point in time. What did you learn out of that experience that you've brought to what you're doing with Aussie Angels?
Yeah, one of the things that I saw a lot of was that for startups, it can be somewhat easy to generally get that first friends and family check, you know, maybe $100,000. And then once you've gotten a certain amount of traction or the right metrics or the right team, getting your first institutional check can be somewhat not too difficult either. It's that middle ground where there is a ton of opportunity for these companies that are still growing, but haven't quite met the metrics that they need to get that first institutional check. And that's the gap that we're seeing, and that's what I want to help solve.
So if I'm an Aussie startup
and
I'm looking for angel investment, what do I do?
Well, you could come to our website as well and check out the syndicates that are there and see if any of them resonate with what your startup is. And if they do, you could pitch that syndicate lead to say, hey, I'd love for you to invest in my company. And the brilliant thing is that the syndicate lead, if they invest, then they will share that with their network on Aussie Angels.
All right, well, Cheryl Mack, great to have you in once again. Always great to catch up. Thanks for your time and have a great Christmas. We'll see you next year.
Thank you.